We need to talk about history, specifically, South African history, and why what many of us were taught, particularly about the so-called Bantu migration, is, in many cases, a carefully constructed lie. A narrative twisted to serve a very specific agenda. For far too long, a convenient fiction has been perpetuated. That Bantu-speaking peoples, the ancestors of millions of black South Africans today, arrived in what is now South Africa at roughly the same time as European settlers, particularly the Dutch in 1652. This narrative was incredibly powerful for those who sought to dispossess indigenous Africans of their land. If both groups were recent arrivals, it implicitly suggested that neither had a stronger claim to the land, thus justifying colonial conquest and apartheid-era land appropriation. But this, my friends, is patently, undeniably false. The historical, archaeological, linguistic, and even genetic evidence paints a vastly different picture, a picture of deep-rooted, ancient African presence in southern Africa that predates European arrival by well over 1,000 years. Let's unpack this. The term, Bantu migration, itself often conjures images of a rapid, monolithic wave of people sweeping down from the north, arriving just in time to meet the Europeans on the Orange River. This is a gross oversimplification and, frankly, a distortion. What historians and archaeologists now understand is that it wasn't a single, swift, migration, but a long, complex process of expansion, settlement, and interaction over millennia. It involved various groups of Bantu-speaking peoples moving into and settling different regions of southern Africa over hundreds, even thousands, of years, adapting to new environments and interacting with pre-existing communities. Consider the archaeological record. It speaks volumes, literally unearthing the truth. We have extensive evidence of early Iron Age communities in what is now South Africa dating back as far as 200 to 300 AD. That's nearly 1,800 years ago. These were Bantu-speaking communities who brought with them ironworking technology, agriculture, and settled village life. We find the distinctive pottery, iron implements, and settlement patterns across various regions, in KwaZulu-Natal, Mpumalanga, Limpopo, and even parts of the Eastern Cape. This wasn't a fleeting visit. These were established societies. And then, there is the jewel in the crown of this ancient history, Mapungubwe. This incredible site, located in the Limpopo province, was a thriving, sophisticated kingdom between the 11th and 13th centuries AD. That's roughly from the year 1000 to 1300. Long before Jan van Riebeeck even thought of setting sail, Mapungubwe was a complex society with a hierarchical structure, skilled artisans, and extensive trade networks. They mined gold, fashioned intricate golden artifacts like the famous golden rhino, and traded with regions as far away as Egypt, India, and even China, as evidenced by imported glass beads and ceramics found at the site. Mapungubwe wasn't built by a nomadic group of recent arrivals. It was the product of a highly organized, settled, and powerful Bantu-speaking kingdom, the first state-level society in southern Africa. Its existence absolutely shatters the myth of parallel arrival with Europeans. And it's not just ancient kingdoms. We have tangible evidence of specific communities with deep roots in this land. Take, for instance, the Bakone of Madlala. Historical accounts and oral traditions confirm their presence in what is now Limpopo since at least the 1400s. That's over 2 centuries before the first European permanent settlement at the Cape. Similarly, the Baroka of Mashabela and other related groups have histories stretching back even further in the region. These aren't just names. These are communities with continuous lineages and ties to the land that span half a millennium or more. Their very existence refutes the colonial narrative of recent arrival. Furthermore, the very languages and physical features of some prominent South African groups tell a powerful story of deep interaction and coexistence with the indigenous Khoisan people. Consider the Swana people. In many Swana communities, you will find individuals with physical features that distinctly resemble those of the San people, sometimes referred to as Bushmen. This isn't a coincidence. It's a testament to centuries, if not millennia, of intermarriage, cultural exchange, and peaceful coexistence between early Bantu-speaking communities and the pre-existing San populations across the vast interior of southern Africa. Their shared genetic markers and physical attributes are living proof of this ancient cohabitation. Then there's the fascinating case of the Xhosa language. Isixhosa, like isiZulu and isiNdebele, is rich with click consonants. These unique sounds are not inherent to other Bantu languages further north. Linguists and historians largely agree that these clicks were adopted and integrated into the Nguni languages, the broader group to which Xhosa belongs, through intensive and prolonged contact, interaction, and likely intermarriage with the Khoisan people, who famously use clicks extensively in their own languages. This linguistic integration is a powerful indicator that the ancestors of the Xhosa people were living alongside, learning from, and blending with the Khoisan for a significant period before the arrival of Europeans. This level of linguistic assimilation doesn't happen overnight. It's a testament to deep historical ties and integration, not just recent migration. The fabricated narrative of simultaneous arrival served a crucial purpose: to justify conquest and dispossession. If black Africans were portrayed as equally newcomers to the land, then their historical claim to it could be undermined, and the colonizers' actions could be reframed as merely settling an empty land, or encountering other migrants. This myth was central to the ideological scaffolding of apartheid, denying the indigenous peoples their rightful heritage and sovereignty. So, when we talk about Bantu migration, let's be precise. It was a long, unfolding demographic and cultural process. But more importantly, let's challenge the lie that accompanied it. The truth is, Bantu-speaking peoples have been an integral part of the southern African landscape for thousands of years. From the ancient furnaces of the Iron Age to the golden treasures of Mapungubwe, from the continuous lineage of the Bakone and Baroka to the clicks in the Xhosa tongue, the evidence is overwhelming. Understanding this history is not just an academic exercise, it's fundamental to understanding modern South Africa. It reclaims a stolen narrative, asserts indigenous rights, and grounds the identity of millions of South Africans in a rich, ancient, and undeniable heritage. It's time we truly understood the truth about who was here, and for how long.